Welcome to building a custom EDC pen, episode number 2. In the first episode, we made the pocket clip end that we could attach to the mechanism. Today, we're going to make the actual mechanism itself. So what I'm picturing is we're going to have a cylinder, that's the mechanism, and it's going to be split in half with a gap, and they'll spring in between so it can sandwich. There'll be a protrusion on the outside and then an ID groove on the inside, 2 ID grooves with a taper connecting them. So when you slide it forward, it'll collapse and snap into the front groove. And then to release it, you'll just push the clip down, sandwiching together, and then the spring pressure will slide it back. So we're gonna go out on the machines and start working on this and just see how it goes. Okay, this turned out pretty well. So this is the top side, and this is where the little fake pocket clip that we made in episode 1 is going to mount to, right in that slot right there. And then on the bottom side, we have this counter bore right here, and that's going to fit this spring. I got a bunch of different springs. This is just the first spring that we're going to try, but that will fit in this counter board hole like that to keep it locked into place. And then this protrusion that you see here, this is the male side. So this is the top half, and the bottom half will have the female version of this protrusion, and that'll keep the two halves aligned. This is obviously its tapped hole for the clip. And then this surface here is 20 thousandths below center, meaning when you put the two halves together, there's going to be a 40 thousandths gap, and that spring's going to keep them pushed apart. And then to actuate it, you'll slide this forward, and these little protrusions that you have here are going to lock into grooves that are in the barrel. And then this will push forward to release it, slide it back, then it'll pop into another groove, push it forward, it'll go on a taper, snap in to actuate the pen, push it down, slides back to retract it. So that's what the plan is. Let's get out there and make the lower half to this now and see how it turns out. Okay, so much less complex bottom half. This is the side that the refill is going to push against right here, and this side will be towards the back of the back of the pen. So these two halves will technically should go together, and then the spring will push them apart like this. And they'll have a gap like this, and that'll help load it in. And again, this piece here will attach to the top. So what we need to do now is, instead of making like an actual barrel, I think I'll just make a section, you know, like a fake section of a barrel back here with a slot that this will ride into with the ID grooves for this to lock into, just so that we can test the mechanism. So that's what we're going to try next. Okay, so unfortunately with stainless, I can't run it dry on the machine, so you couldn't watch it be machined. But this is our fake little barrel end, just to test out the mechanism. You can see what it looks like inside of there with a series of grooves. So that protrusion will start out in here, and then as you push it forward, it'll ride down that taper, collapsing that little sandwich, and then it'll snap up into this groove. And that's when you'll be using the pen. Then when you push it down, the spring pressure on the refill will snap it back into here. So let's put it together and just pray to God it works. Okay, so I wanted to show you what it looks like inside of the tube, or the barrel, before I put that clip on, and that's going to hide all of this. So this is the back of the pen. This is where the refill would be. And I'm just going to take a little pin and I'm going to push on there so you can see what it does. So it's going to squish that sandwich down, and then when it gets to here, it's going to snap in place. I'll put the pin where the refill would be pushing. I'm going to push down on it, and then it just releases it. So that's how it works. Snaps into place. And if I push on this, I can push as hard as I want, and it's not gonna release unintentionally. All right, let's put that clip on there. Okay, so here it is with the clip. Now keep in mind, this is all just prototyping. Function before beauty. So if we push it forward, it snaps into place, and then the spring pressure, so it's locked in right now. Refill would be pushing this way, locked in. And then you would just push down and it would release. Forward, engage. So it's pretty good. I'm wondering if I put 2 springs in on the ends. What I don't like about it is it kind of wants to tip like this, see that? Which it's still fine. The other thing is the pocket clip will be down to here, and there'll be a notch in the barrel, so it won't let it tip, because the pocket clip will go into the notch in the barrel, and that notch will keep the barrel from getting scratched up. So it should make the actuation like really smooth, but it's got a nice little click. It's very solid. And the other thing I'm thinking is the clip I'll probably have overhang this slot on the sides and on the back to cover all this up. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for now, but I'm very happy. We've got about a day and a half into this, and it's gone better than I could have hoped. If you look at it from here, there's the sandwich. Push it down. So that's the way it works. Again, function before beauty here. But yeah, that's what we got so far. So thanks for watching. Tune in probably next week for episode 3 as we get a little bit closer to seeing this new pen come to life. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.